Hello and welcome to the Tim Booker channel. Wishing everyone an enjoyable listening experience. Today, the book I'll be interpreting for you is The Reality Slap, with the subtitle, How to Survive and Thrive When Life Hits Hard. From accidents, illnesses, to job loss and breakups, everyone encounters numerous challenges in life. What memorable difficulties have you faced? How did you handle them? Feel free to share your experiences in the comments. Faced with life's challenges, the initial response is often to overcome them. Ill individuals seek active treatments, the unemployed search for new jobs. Life is expected to return to happiness once these difficulties vanish. However, sometimes the hurdles are so monumental that they cannot be entirely erased, such as disability due to an accident, the loss of a loved one, or discovering a severe congenital illness in a child. When confronted with insurmountable difficulties, people often feel powerless, falling into pessimism and anxiety, believing that there's no hope for their future. This book I'm introducing today offers a set of methods for dealing with immense challenges. The author of this book, Russ Harris, is a psychologist from Australia renowned internationally, with several best-selling psychology books to his credit. Harris refers to life challenges as reality slaps, where one side represents the reality of these challenges while the other embodies an idealized life people envision. The greater the gap between them, the more challenging it becomes to eliminate, resulting in increased suffering. Harris asserts that regardless of how hard people try, certain reality slaps cannot be eradicated, and individuals can never return to their previous lives. Yet, even in the face of immense pain, people can still find inner peace and satisfaction, leading fulfilling and valuable lives. This isn't just motivational talk but stems from Harris's personal experience. When his son was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2, his cognitive abilities lagged far behind his peers, unable to speak or walk normally. Upon hearing the diagnosis, Harris felt as though his world had crumbled. He described it as someone stabbing him in the gut and slowly pulling out his intestines. For a long time, life seemed bleak to him. However, leveraging his psychological knowledge, Harris eventually emerged from the agony and rediscovered the meaning and value of life. In this book, Harris combines psychological expertise with his own journey, summarizing the process of dealing with reality slaps into 4 steps. 1. Be kind to yourself. 2. Drop anchor. 3. Choose your values. 4. Appreciate the present. I'll dive into these 4 steps to decode the core content of this book for you. Let's start with the first step. Be kind to yourself. The author divides this into 2 parts. The first is self-compassion, which involves understanding and accepting the pain caused by reality slaps rather than rushing to deny it. When faced with a reality slap, people often try to comfort by denying the pain. Some might say it's not a serious problem, urging to tough it out, while others advise not to waste time in pain but to find a solution quickly. Some even beautify the pain. For instance, when the author's son was diagnosed, someone said, "God gives special children to special parents," which angered the author as nonsense. He acknowledges growth amid pain but asserts that pain isn't inherently good, there are other ways to learn and grow without immense suffering. For the author, autism is a terrible thing, he doesn't view it as a life gift. When someone feels pain, the most crucial thing is understanding and acknowledging that pain. If comfort involves denying pain, it can easily trigger defensive reactions, making the person feel misunderstood and disregarded, intensifying negative emotions, sinking deeper into suffering. Only when pain is fully understood and accepted can people gradually move beyond it and take action to address reality slaps. Unfortunately, few can set aside their views to completely understand and accept others' pain, but at least we can understand and accept our own pain with a compassionate attitude. How can this be achieved? The author introduces an exercise called Hand of Compassion. Find a quiet place, sit relaxed, recall the reality slap you're facing, how it affects you now and in the future, as thoughts and emotions impact the nervous system, triggering physiological reactions, causing discomfort, chest pains, stomach discomfort, or neck tension. Lift one hand, imagining it comes from someone understanding and accepting. Place it on the most uncomfortable part of your body or at your heart if no specific area stands out. Feel the touch and warmth, imagine offering understanding, acceptance, and warmth, relaxing the discomfort. After a while, involve the other hand, repeating the exercise on different body parts. There's no set time, do it as long as you feel necessary. Most people find comfort and relaxation better facing reality slaps and pain. That concludes the exercise on compassion. Let's talk about the second part of being kind to yourself, reducing the pain caused by thoughts and emotions. A significant portion of the pain from reality slaps stems from negative thoughts and emotions. For instance, if someone loses their job, they not only feel the pain of unemployment but also a series of negative thoughts like economic downturns, the difficulty of finding a job, the insecurity of life without employment, or the possibility of facing unemployment again. These thoughts generate pessimism, anxiety, and further suffering. The author, too, immersed himself in pessimistic thoughts about his son's future after the autism diagnosis, worries about slow development, mockery, bullying, and isolation. These thoughts made the author frequently anxious and sometimes even despairing. He acknowledges that having negative thoughts is normal, the brain naturally imagines problems, especially in uncertain times. However, the crucial aspect is whether we believe these thoughts as true. Believing these thoughts can trap us in a fog of imagination, continuously envisioning problems that haven't happened, enduring negative emotions, and suffering. Simultaneously, these thoughts can confuse us, hindering our understanding of reality and causing us to miss opportunities to resolve real problems and experience the beauty of the present. To tackle negative thoughts and emotions, the author suggests using dissociation for thoughts and expansion for emotions. Dissociation involves separating thoughts from reality, not taking thoughts as truth. It consists of two steps, noticing and naming. Noticing involves becoming aware when lost in thoughts, asking whether one is focusing on present actions or worrying about imagined problems. This realization often shocks people, highlighting how easily thoughts can confuse. Naming entails giving these recurring thoughts a name, aiding in their recognition and detachment. For instance, naming a thought about loneliness as the story of me dying alone. Meanwhile, expansion involves allowing the coexistence of negative emotions without attempting to eliminate them. Many methods, like eating, watching movies, exercising, or shopping, can temporarily uplift mood, but facing significant reality gaps renders these methods ineffective. For the author, trying various ways to evade pain after his son's diagnosis, reading, eating sweets, talking to people, drinking, resulted in temporary relief but recurring suffering. Eventually, he realized that suppressing or avoiding pain amidst such a significant reality gap only intensifies it. The alternative approach, endorsed by ancient wisdom and modern psychology, involves coexisting peacefully with pain. Mindfulness, originating from Buddhist meditation, promotes an open, non-judgmental self-awareness. This method includes focusing on discomfort, breathing into it, and creating space for it without trying to escape or annihilate it. Through expansion exercises, people realize that pain, although uncomfortable, doesn't truly harm them. Facing pain and coexisting with it diminishes its fearfulness and lessens its intensity over time. After completing these steps of being kind to yourself, individuals often feel relief and a lighter demeanor, motivating them to take action to improve their reality. However, the prerequisite for improving life is focusing on the present, noticing more details, identifying areas for improvement, and doing things diligently. This connects with the second step, anchoring oneself in the present. An exercise involves taking a moment to observe 5 things seen, heard, and personal activities, reinforcing connection with the present. This exercise aids in distancing from thoughts and emotions interference, focusing on tasks at hand. These 2 steps prepare us psychologically to face reality gaps. Next, it's time to take actual steps. The third step in dealing with reality gaps is to choose values and act in accordance with them to strive to eliminate these gaps. Values represent an individual's deep desires, including the kind of person they wish to be and the qualities they seek to embody in their actions. There are various types of values, ranging from honesty and love to trust and cooperation. People often confuse values with goals, but the distinction lies in values reflecting how one wants to behave, while goals focus on achieving specific outcomes. When individuals encounter reality gaps, their goals usually aim to eradicate these gaps. Goals have an endpoint once achieved, but values have no definitive end. For instance, if someone goes through a breakup, their goal might be to find a new partner, closing the reality gap. Once they find someone, the goal is fulfilled, and they might not need to consider it further. However, if their value is kindness, they can act on this value at any time, treating others kindly wherever they are until the end of their life. There are two advantages to utilizing values to cope with reality gaps. First, values provide the impetus for action by embodying the qualities people cherish the most, invigorating them to actively address reality gaps. Second, values offer enduring satisfaction. In situations where reality gaps cannot be eliminated, similar to how a seriously ill person might not fully recover or someone going through a breakup might struggle to find a suitable partner, measuring life solely based on outcomes can lead to distress if the goal isn't achieved. However, living by values allows individuals to act in alignment with their core qualities at any moment, fostering ongoing satisfaction. The author recommends considering which values to follow during the process of eliminating reality gaps to enrich the journey. Even if the gaps persist, individuals can find meaning in their efforts. While the choice of values varies for each person and has no universal answer, the author outlines 3 core values: connection, care, and contribution. These values manifest in different ways in various situations, leading to other values like honesty, love, courage, and trust. To prompt reflection, individuals can contemplate actions that foster these core values in their most important relationships, be it with people, their bodies, emotions, work, or studies. For instance, in author's case, the most crucial relationship was with his son. Acting on core values, he committed wholeheartedly to love his son and sought effective therapy while patiently supporting him through the process. By starting from core values, the author dedicated himself to finding scientifically backed treatments and even relocated to a remote town from bustling Melbourne. His efforts bore fruit as his son's cognitive abilities significantly improved after a year and a half of therapy, no longer meeting the criteria for an autism diagnosis. Although his son still faced challenges like learning disabilities, social difficulties, and high anxiety, the author accepted that, by adhering to his values, he could embrace any outcome. This concludes the third step in addressing reality gaps, choosing values and acting upon them. Apart from finding satisfaction in values, there are other sources of fulfillment as well. This is the fourth step in addressing reality gaps, embracing gratitude for the present moment. The author likened life to a stage show, where everything we encounter performs on the stage. When reality gaps emerge, it's as though the entire stage dims, leaving only a spotlight on the gap. However, life extends beyond these gaps. By appreciating each moment with gratitude, we discover a vast world beyond the reality gaps, leading to immense satisfaction. This isn't about ignoring the existence of reality gaps but, rather, focusing on living fully after addressing them. Some individuals might obsess over the idea that as long as reality gaps persist, life remains chaotic, devoid of hope. In response, one can use dissociation as a tool, treating such thoughts as mere notions without believing them and redirecting attention to gratitude for the present. The author introduced an exercise to cultivate appreciation and gratitude for the present. Similar to the grain of sand exercise, it emphasizes establishing a connection with the present and expressing gratitude. The exercise begins by reading a book, paying attention to how your eyes move across the text, and imagining the difficulty of life without sight to appreciate the joy of reading and experiencing visuals. Then, shifting focus to observe 5 things in the surroundings, appreciating their shapes, colors, and textures as if seeing them for the first time. Express gratitude for your eyes and hands, imagining life without these faculties and performing actions that bring joy. This exercise can expand to various activities like noticing the rhythm of your steps while walking, savoring flavors while eating, or simply acknowledging your breath and its role in sustaining life. The author hopes to illustrate that despite the pain of reality exercises, we possess many valuable things for a fulfilling life. For instance, by focusing on embracing the present and enjoying time with his son without fixating on autism or worrying about the future, the author found immense happiness. At that point, his son ceased being a patient or a problem but became a blessing. The book concludes by suggesting that as long as we are alive and care about something, we will inevitably face reality exercises and endure pain. However, Viewing pain as an integral part of life allows better acceptance and coexistence. Redirecting attention to what we currently possess brings contentment in every moment. After listening to this episode, what new perspectives do you have on life's challenges? Feel free to share in the comments. That concludes the interpretation of this book. Congratulations on completing another book. Thank you all for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, like, and share this valuable knowledge with friends, combining wisdom and practice to achieve financial goals and create a better future. Thank you, and goodbye.